Saturn, please grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's the day and hour of Venus. I'm Reverend Devin Malone, and you're listening to Selene's Gateway, Morning Edition. Helios is at 14 degrees and 40 minutes of Aries. Selene is at 11 degrees and 35 minutes of Scorpio, and the ascendant is at 14 degrees and 56 minutes of Aries. The chart is set for Washington, D.C. The final dispositor for the day is Venus. She rules the day and hour of sunrise and is in her own domicile of Taurus. She is settled in, now separating from the intensity of the square with Pluto yesterday. We will be continuing to feel that intensity over the next couple of days. For today's prayer, we'll turn back to the Orphic Hymn translation from theoi.com. It's listed as hymn number 54. You can find it, the written version of the hymn, on the Patreon. And so it goes. Heavenly, illustrious, laughter-loving queen, sea-born, night-loving, of an awful mien, crafty from whom necessity first came, producing nightly, all-connecting dame. 'Tis thine world with harmony to join, for all things spring from thee. O power divine, the triple fates are ruled by thy decree, and all productions yield alike to thee. Whether the heavens encircling all contain, earth fruit producing, and the stormy main, the sway confesses and obeys thy nod, awful attendant of the Bermo god, goddess of marriage, charming to the sight, mother of loves, whom banqueting delights, source of persuasion, secret favoring queen. O illustrious born, apparent and unseen, spousal Lupercal, and to men inclined, prolific, most desired, life-giving kind, great sceptred bearer of gods, 'tis thine, mortals in necessary bands to join, and every tribe of savage monsters dire in magic chains to bind through mad desire. Come, Cyprus born, and to my prayer incline. Whether exalted in the heavens you shine, or pleased in Syria's temple to preside, or in the Egyptian plains thy car to guide, fashioned of gold, and near its sacred flood, fertile and famed, to fix thy blessed abode, or if rejoicing in the azure shores, near where the sea with foaming billow roars, the circling choirs of mortals thy delight, O beauteous nymphs, with eyes of Cruellen bright, pleased by thy dusty banks renowned of old, to drive thy rapid, two-yoked car of gold. Or if in Cyprus, with thy mother fair, where married females praise thee every year, and beauteous virgins in the chorus join, Adonis pure to sing, and thee divine. Come, all attractive, to my prayer incline, for thee I call with a holy, reverent mind. And so it is. May the luscious brilliance of Venus radiate upon you and from within you on this day. The tarot card for the day is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles has us concerned about resources. This resonates with the square between Venus and Taurus and Pluto and Aquarius. It's hard to pay attention to pleasure and comfort if we're feeling the anxiety of a destabilized foundation. The traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card depicts a man seated in a throne on a stage with two coins beneath his feet, one being hugged against his chest and a fourth on top of his crown. This figure definitely has money on the mind. With a connection to Capricorn, this card asks us to take stock of our inventory, to make sure that our anxieties aren't misplaced, while also questioning what it is that we truly value. It is a practical, realistic card, though. I know with how tumultuous the financial world is looking right now, I personally went through and got rid of a few of my subscriptions that I didn't want lingering about. Now is a great time to start trimming back the things you aren't really putting that much attention to, but you are spending your valuable time on. What I mean is this: every dollar you have is a base unit of time you've spent in your life. Each dollar represents your breath, your heartbeat, and your attention. Every dollar you've earned is also contains every meal you've eaten, shower you've taken, anything and all you've done to prepare yourself to earn that dollar. Even the sleep you got the night before you went to work to earn that dollar. All of those things are woven into its threads. This becomes even less tangible, though, as we move deeper and deeper into the caverns of digital currency. Our digital subscriptions gently siphon money out of our bank accounts, little by little, like a clever pickpocket or a sneaky financial advisor embezzling from a major company. Sure, they aren't doing anything illegal. We've signed up to pay for the services. We've signed our firstborn child away to the terms and services agreements that we've all supposedly read. Then a price change happens. We miss a notice in our spam file that prices are going up, and seemingly out of nowhere, a bill has gone up 20, maybe 30%. Maybe that subscription is only $2.99, but how many of them do you have? Do you even know? They also don't get collected in a bill flow like a big bundle where we can take notice of them all at once and see how much we're spending. Instead, they get pulled out and here and there instead of all at once. In between each paycheck and over the course of time. I've got to admit, during 2020, I signed up for the Southwest Ranchers Collective. I think that's what it was called. Because I was a butcher and I wanted to know more about the ins and outs of the industry from the rancher's perspective. I figured I'd get a discount on the classes they were offering if I signed up for the annual membership. And so for almost 3 years in a row, I got blindsided by this $23 bill around spring, and I just have to laugh to myself about it now because every time I thought, oh, it's just $23 and they're a good organization, which is fine, and I solved the issue last time, though I'm going to go check and make sure tomorrow now that I'm thinking about it. But the main point is these micro subscriptions are siphoning off your energy, and if you aren't utilizing it for its full potential, like if you aren't using the apps or the subscriptions, then it's just a leech literally pulling out your lifeblood. The financial types talk about avocado toast this and cappuccino that, but seriously, the capitalist market system does not, I repeat, does not have your best interest at heart. They don't even desire to sell you the best product they can anymore. It's designed to siphon your life away and feed the rich with it. So the Four of Pentacles asks you to put your money on your mind. Remember that your life is sacred and precious. Take the moment you need to make sure that your energy is going to the right things, the things you actually use, to the things you currently care about, because most of these things are going to still be there when you decide to indulge in them again. Today's card comes from the Journey to Oz and Wonderland, my favorite, one of my favorite decks, if you can't tell. You can see the card on the Patreon, and in the card we see the Wicked Witch, and around her is a storehouse of all kinds of ingredients and brews. Honestly, it looks like an apothecary I'd love to go to. We will now give the artists their due and their voice, and we will read what the booklet says about the card. Four of Pentacles, the Wicked Witch's possessions, security, safety, preservation, conservation, materialism, greed, fear of loss. The Wicked Witch of the West, captive to her hunger for power and material gain, uses her crystal ball and the golden cap in a desperate bid for control over Dorothy. Represented by the Four of Pentacles, her obsessive grip on material wealth and desire for dominance becomes her undoing. This card serves as a reminder that a tight grasp on possessions and power can hinder personal growth and happiness. Let go of undue attachments. Trust the universe's abundance and focus on genuine connections and experiences. The Four of Pentacles in reverse indicates insecurity about finances or possessions. It may suggest worries about loss or holding on to unnecessary things. Focus on what's truly important in your life, your relationships, and your gifts to the world. For the transit of the day, we're looking at Luna's slow saunter through Scorpio. Black Moon Lilith on an astrology chart is our indicator for how fast the moon is traveling, as well as the rest of her powerful, punchy nature. With Black Moon Lilith heading towards the center of Sagittarius, we know that Luna, the moon, is moving very slow right now. This must have been part of why Artemis 2 chose to leave when it did for its mission. It's probably easier to catch the moon when its trajectory is actually moving slower. Selene is in fall in Scorpio. She must find comfort in the uncomfortable spaces. She may find it hard to get settled or easily distressed while simultaneously obsessive about the smallest uncomfortability. The moon does get some aid, though. She'll receive a trine from Jupiter for some wisdom around noon and some extra dose of communication from Mercury later in the evening. Not a bad triangle to be at the center of. Just be careful that the irritability doesn't come through in the communication part. I will say also, though, that it's important to voice your needs and to be clear with your boundaries. If you're feeling a little quick on the trigger, people with Moon in Scorpio often need to learn that they can have nice things and that people will care about their uncomfortability. They don't need to suffer in silence. The tides of the day are as follows. The first tide just before sunrise is a low tide at 4:51 a.m. Then the first high tide swings through at 8:14 a.m. The second low tide of the day swings through at 5:35 p.m. and the last high tide peaks at 9:16 p.m. All times are as is for each region, but still approximate in nature. Find out more about the tide tables in Selene's Almanac Spring Quarter on the Patreon. The shadows hours for the day are 11:40 a.m. till 1:16 p.m. This is going to be felt strongest for people that have Rahu in Libra or Taurus or sharing a sign with Venus. The next block is at 5:31 a.m. after midnight until sunrise. This hour will be mostly felt by those that have Rahu in Leo or sharing the same sign with the sun. As always, these are great hours to work on remediation and to simply observe the frustrations that may occur. For the whole list of shadow days and hours, as well as an explanation, please download Selene's Almanac Spring Quarter from my Patreon. You'll also find the deeper explanation of the tides tables there, as I previously stated. As always, though, we will wrap up just as we had began, as a way to close the circle. Saturn, please grant us serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. May the fire inside guide you. You've been listening to Selene's Gateway Morning Edition. You can find my almanac at Patreon at Selene's Gateway. You can schedule a tarot or astrology reading from me at selenesgateway.com. And on social media, I'm known as the Esoteric Butcher.